age is only a number that we count until we are old enough to know that it doesn't count. I think this is what our whole exercise today is about. So I would move on to the next slide. So basically, looking back onto our lifestyle, what it was yesterday and what it is today. Of course, the unfortunate pandemic, I don't think we should really, I wouldn't want to kind of brood and talk too much of it. And, I think in this whole presentation, let's, like Yashpalji said, positivity, positive affirmations, so I think we should all kind of share and spread positive vibes amongst each other. So, like you all have seen, today's lifestyle, right from your children to your grandchildren, I think, over the last few generations, it's been very, very fast paced. We've totally lacked in looking after our own selves. It's all about, of course, technology has advanced so much. So, like they say, it's more about emotions rather than emoticons. We hear of families also, like one bedroom to the other, like WhatsApp, dinners on the table, So where is that, that connection is gone. Unfortunately, all this is good in a way in terms of admiring the way science and technology has progressed. But I think we should know how much and how far we need to use all this. A lot of competition again is very healthy, but unhealthy competition causes, again, has a lot of its repercussions. Peer pressure, I mean, today we see children, like I remember, couple of years ago, it was and it's really sad that you see parents falling or succumbing to peers. Oh, this, my daughter, my son is going to this XYZ elite school. Like, oh, I mean, there was somebody who came to me and told me that, I need to give my domestic help or my daughter's attendant a phone because everybody there has a phone. Now, at that age, I mean, you don't need to do all that. But again, it's very personal. So all this is contributed to a lot of extra burden, a lot of extra baggage on our heads, and which definitely takes a toll on our physical body. Again, talking about today and what we all have gone through, I don't want to say much, but in some way or the other, everybody has been impacted. And yes, being a homeopath, I have treated very many cases. In fact, it's so ironical that I've treated more cases post the pandemic. I mean, not the pandemic, but post getting affected with the virus than otherwise, So there are very long drawn, side effects like IBS. A lot of people still are in that fear mode. Many people have started feeling a lot of joint pains. There are lots of issues that have kind of developed after the infection. So I would say, in fact, even 6 months post your result being negative, they still have a lot of these lingering symptoms. Very, very common is the fatigue syndrome. They're so fatigued and like they still feel that, oh, like, are we still are we still affected with the virus? And repeatedly they keep doing their RT-PCRs, and it's always negative. So these are very long drawn effects. I don't think there's any necessity to fear or to get overly anxious about it. We need, the body takes time to get back to normal. Unfortunately, this virus has been one of its kind, right from the medical fraternity to we've all been very lay. We really don't know who, what, where, and how much this tiny little microorganism has affected our lives. Again, needless to say, we've come across a lot of anxieties, lot of panic. I mean, I've had cases where there was this young girl and she got into such a mode of fear that she refused to even open the door. I mean, it's after I mean, after 1.5 years, I mean, she needed counseling. We started her on some homeopathic treatment, and luckily now she's kind of getting better. A lot of sleep disorders, a lot of nightmares. So, again, this is not only the pandemic, but this is also prevalent in I would say any individual, due to work, due to old age retirement, old age depression. So it could be anything. Today it's very convenient to even say that, oh, virus की वजह से ये हुआ, or pandemic की वजह से let's not use the pandemic as a scapegoat. Let's try and see what we can do to our own selves, because finally, like the game of life or the battle of life is being played by the individual, we need to boost up our own mind and body. So, what is really important is, like Yashpalji very, that was very nice. 8 hour division, 8 into 3. So it's very important. You need to sleep right. You need to sleep enough. You need to exercise. I think, is very, very important. Eat right. I mean, you can eat small quantities, but if you eat too much of carbs and you say, oh, but I've just had one butter naan and I've had one dal makhani, so that's not little. So you need to know what is right. Always find, talk to people. You could talk to a nutritionist, or the body itself gives you signals that what is good for you, what is not good for you. As we grow, our metabolism definitely slows down, but if we keep our mind healthy, I'm sure everything stays healthy. Supplements like zinc, iron, calcium, these are also very important, but mind you, don't resort to supplements in the form of tablets and forms of capsules. I mean, we have enough natural resources which we should kind of look at and see, because nature has given us so much. Why are we not looking and grabbing nutrients from what we have been blessed with? So we need to derive all these things naturally than resorting to, oh, take a D3, take a calcium tablet. I know of so many people, they've got a list of vitamins. I take vitamin E, I take vitamin D, I take the vitamin C. Now that's the in thing. Oh, no, no, like, to avoid any allergies and to avoid the pandemic and the virus, we need to kind of boost our immunity. So they take nearly 3 to 4 tablets of vitamin C. It's not required. You know, build up your mind. Look and concentrate into the emotional well-being of yourself. And like, you all do these exercises, laughter therapy, music, positive affirmations, learning to accept. I think acceptance is a very, very important part, which we need to kind of remind ourselves that, okay, today, even if we are unfortunate victims of any disease or of any ailment, we need to acknowledge it. We don't need to brood about it, and we don't need to keep saying that, oh, why did this happen to me? I mean, okay, it's happened. You need to face, you need to confront it, you need to acknowledge it, and then decide how you want to. I mean, it's like a guest entering your body. I mean, give it your best. Be hospitable, and then say, okay, now enough. Now it's time you leave. So we need to fight, and we need to develop these kind of emotional feelings, so that any disease, be it very chronic, be it life threatening, be it a simple cold, be it a simple cough, be it arthritis, be it anything. I think once you acknowledge, you understand, and then it's time to decide as to what best is suited for you. Yoga, meditation, again, sleep hygiene. I mean, this is again very important. I would recommend that when you lie down, don't hold your phone. If you need to watch a movie, sit up, sit on your laptop or on an iPad. I mean, even if you don't have one, whatever device you have, sit up and hold it straight. Lying down is not the right thing. Get into We need to observe what is called sleep hygiene. So there are couple of things like you need to get into a sleep mode, lighten the lights, put on some soft music, prepare your system for sleep. And I'm sure, I mean, people who complain of insomnia or disturbed sleep or probably a lot of nightmares, very restless during their sleep, all that will definitely come down. And we've experimented on this. Again, aging is a very progressive, uh, you know, uh, it's a progressive thing. And basically everybody, I mean, be it, if you look at plants, you look at animals, anything that is animate, anything that has life, okay, it does progress. I mean, we can't be the same again, so we need to acknowledge that, okay, this is a healthy progressive change that we all are going through, and we have to manage, we have to age gracefully. So, this again is a very important aspect to kind of keep in mind. So basically, like I said, what are the age related ailments? I mean, again, I'm contradicting myself by talking about age, but commonly seen, again, arthritis, osteoporosis is all today. You see one of these tall palm trees or these very long Christmas trees. I mean, every tree also by the end of a particular height or the end of a particular bloom starts withering away. So it's again a very natural process. Your lungs automatically tend to get weak. We need to look into our lung conditions, breathing exercises, meditation. These are all natural ways of sustaining good lungs, sustaining a good heart, looking into our oral health and hygiene. It's important that you brush your teeth twice. You must brush after dinner. Try and rinse your mouth after each meal. So little things like this, if we just look into, which at the moment we tend to neglect. We are so absorbed with our own issues, with our own problems, that these places which need attention, which need importance, are being neglected, and therefore a disease gets manifested. So, again, the remedial steps, like I said, are the first thing is to accept everything. Acceptance is the secret, acceptance is the key word, and then everything falls in place. One request is, I mean, please take an opinion from a professional. Please do not encourage forward messages. Do not encourage medical forwards, because it really creates such a chaos. I mean, we've had cases of over drugging by simple over medication of calcium. I mean, it causes sepsis. It causes an overdose, which causes a lot of mental health issues. And we've actually seen it. Now, talking about my expertise, that's homeopathy. I don't know whether everybody is aware about what the science is all about, but it's a very holistic treatment. So, what are we aiming at? We aim at basically mind and body being in harmony. Once the mind and body are in harmony, everything is looked after. So, like we say, when the mind is not in ease, the body develops a disease. This science was invented by a German physician. He was also an allopathic physician, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, and he could not manage and treat malaria, which was an epidemic in his years. And it was only with homeopathy that he was able to manage and able to treat cases with malaria. And it was in his time that he realized that there were people dying more of the treatment than of the disease. So, this is when he said that why not look at something more natural? Why is it that these kind of medications or the conventional treatment is not working? So, this again is a very long topic and a very long history. But yes, it's important that we acknowledge Dr. Hahnemann. It's thanks to his science that today we are and we are here to talk to you about all this. A lot of people have doubts about this science. They feel, oh, this is just a placebo. Doctor, do you use steroids? Do you use cortisons? Is homeopathy same as Ayurveda? No, it's not the same. Both are different sciences. Of course, we also use a lot of herbs. We use a lot of animal tissues. We use a lot of chemical stuff. It's like you'll be surprised that we use things like arsenic, we use things like lead, but these elements or these components are what we call potentize. They bring out the curing properties or the medicinal properties of the element, and then it is dispensed as a homeopathic remedy. There is enough scientific evidence. So, needless to say that, there's enough research done. We have eminent personalities like you see on the screen. We have to thank our Prime Minister for Ayush, which is, this organization is basically promoting Ayurveda, Unani, yoga, homeopathy, and all such alternate treatments. And yes, so basically it's all about holistic healing, it's all about mind over matter, and it's all about having faith in your doctor and, listening to your body. Your body should tell you that, okay, this is what I need. I mean, there are little transient issues like maybe a little cold or a little cough or anything. You don't need to get stressed about it, but when your daily routine is hampered and you're unable to continue with your daily routine, and you feel, no, I'm not able to do this or I'm not able to do this job of mine, that's the time you need to look at yourself, speak to a doctor, speak to a physician, speak to a therapist, whoever you have the faith and confidence, and then take it from there. And believe you me, your body will tell you and it'll call for the right intervention. So, with these few words, I thank you very much. I'm open to any questions, any doubts.